Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to the May community meeting for Akri. We abide by the code of conduct, and we'll be recording this meeting. So if you don't consent, please hop off. Um, okay. So make sure to add your name to the attendee section in the notes. I'll link it right here. So looks like there's a few things on the agenda item. The first thing is submitting a talk for KubeCon North America. So I think, yeah, we briefly discussed this maybe last time we talked, but yeah, I mean, do we have any ideas for topics that we want to submit for this year?
I I don't have any specific ideas that, but I think if I remember correctly, you had some ideas. So
Think we had a few ideas that we submitted, like for the last one with like WASM orchestration and things like that. Um, Andrew, I don't know if you had any other topics that you wanted to do this year.
Not recently. I've been underwater with escalations, so I haven't had a moment to think about anything other than those.
Yeah, kind of same over here. Um, I think it would be also good to probably aim for like the main conference because I feel like we've been doing Kubernetes on Edge Day talks for a while now. And it's probably just reaching like the same, audience. So it would be obviously good to do the main conference talk. Um, it is harder to get that one, I think. We'll probably need to like talk about AI or something because that's all the buzz lately. But we can think about it, and I can probably ask Ralph for some feedback as well. Uh, yeah, and maybe it would be fun to do another kind of Microsoft booth theater session, or like if we want to do something at the SUSE booth too.
and maybe get another Project Pavilion booth
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. We'll definitely sign up for another Akri booth. Andrew, do you know for sure if you're gonna be there this year?
I should be like the Salt Lake one. Yeah, I should be there.
Okay,
Um, I haven't gotten that like officially told to me, but I'd be very surprised if I wasn't.
okay, gotcha.
On my side, I'm trying to uh, get some kind of, well, not confirmation, but at least some indication that I will be there. But
Yeah.
that's nothing sure for now.
We don't typically get approval to travel until like a week or two before we actually travel. So it's problematic at
Same
times.
here.
Sounds
Yeah.
more expensive.
Yes. And I have commiserated with Ralph about that as well. So I know that Microsoft does the same.
Yep. Okay. Um, Anything else on this topic?
Not necessarily. When is the RFP deadline? It's probably in the notes.
Let me check. I think we probably have like a month. And it's
June 9th.
June 9th.
Yeah, so cool. I am maybe overly optimistic, but I'm really hoping that the escalations that I'm on are done in the next week.
Mhm.
I mean, they have to be because I start traveling for a month and a half. Uh, so, but during that travel, I'll reach out and we can uh, put a proposal together.
Okay. That sounds good.
And next community meeting will be just before the deadline, so we will
Yeah.
still be able to confirm that on next community meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. The next thing on the agenda is timeline for Akri V 1.0. Um, it says end of November question mark. I don't know who wrote that, but yeah, do we want to talk about like where do we feel about, DRA and all the other things that we need to do, like maybe security assessment, benchmark testing, etc. I know we said those aren't like necessary for Akri V 1.0. We can do that maybe like right after we release 1.0. But yeah, how's the DRA work going? Like,
Well, the DRA work is not advancing much right now. Um, I'm still in discussions about the how DRA will evolve. I'm pretty optimistic on it, but I think it won't be like I don't think DRA will be ready to use like this yet, unfortunately. So I think we should still kind of prepare for it because even though it will evolve, the global architecture should be pretty much the same. So we can have Akri in a state where, like, all the thing we already discussed, like the refactor, all the splitting the configuration and everything. This I think we should do before the array, but I'm not sure we are going to have the array for 1.0 if we want to release this year. But definitely, I think we should at least have the split of the configuration for 1.0 because, well, this is a major change to the API.
makes sense. Um, are there other like kind of production ready things that maybe we can tackle before we do 1.0? I know we had a doc somewhere that listed the things that we wanted to get done for it. Might also be in the notes.
Yeah, I think we had at least like with I think we wanted a process like a written process for getting more discovery handlers or listing discovery handlers and everything, so that it's clear how we deal with additional discovery handlers and everything. And I think one of the thing we wanted as well was to well, look at how we version Akri, because currently we kind of skip a lot of version numbers when we release, and this can be kind of strange sometimes. So these were the kind of thing that are not that are more production related, let's say.
I guess we could, if we are able to like maybe split up the repo, like take out the discovery handlers, have a better guide on how to contribute, and then yes, the versioning stuff. I think those are good goals to have. And end of November seems nice just because it's like we can probably, if we do end up doing a talk, we can be like, hey, we're gonna have 1.0 this month. But we'll see how that goes.
And on the other hand, if we have 1.0 after KubeCon, because I don't think we can really get it before, it will be really hard to get it before, I think. If we have it like, say, December or January, it would make a good well, it would make a good subject for the next KubeCon to say, to maybe get to the main event by having a kind of a retrospective around how we got to V1 and what we learned from getting to V1. More of a project management kind of point of view.
You could also pair that with an announcement of submitting to incubating.
Yeah. And so, what is your expectation, Kate, on this for the timeline for 1.0? I think you just came in, so was it you asked for November, or?
I don't think I put that date out. Maybe I don't remember specifying that date.
November.
But okay. But I think it would be great to get a lot of these features in. I know that our pace has been a little slower. So if we can motivate towards a deadline, that could be helpful. And I'm excited about all these features. So I think we could aim for November to at least have all of these features in. And then I think we're going to also need to do some work on other things that we consider 1.0. I don't remember our full list, but yeah, we need to split out all the repositories, and we have a lot. We need to get better at Dependabot. We have a lot of dependencies that are out of date, and there's some security, like our whole security tab on Akri is just ignored. All of those things need to change to be a 1.0.
And get to crates.io as well. But yeah, the time it takes for getting the refactor in kind of make me a bit less optimistic about November, but maybe it's just because of this.
Yeah, I think the refactor is hard because it's a refactor. Like it's just, it's huge and it's not really focused. So because of that, it's hard to split it out, and it's also hard to review. I also think with conferences, it's been hard to be consistent, um, back and forth. Um, I remember last time, Nicholas, we talked about DRA and how um, they may be going a different path. Have you heard any updates on that? You might have already updated it. I might have missed that. But how confident are you feeling about our prospects with that too? Because in my experience, when I don't feel confident about the feasibility of something, I slow down. So I was just curious your thoughts there.
I'm pretty optimistic on DRA currently. They heard our need, and although, well, I think that it might get handled, maybe not in the first iteration of DRA, but it's something that they clearly have in mind, and that they will be sure not to close the door to that use case. So, but anyway, I don't think the array will be out of alpha by this year. So we'll see how long it will take to get something.
And so you think the refactor agent PR is pretty much ready. We just need to do another review of it. And then do the proposals still need reviewing? Do we want to take another look at the split config proposals, or are those more in implementation mode?
I think we should do the same treatment for the controller first, like refactor to kind of clean everything and use all the features that the KubeRS project gives us. So to be consistent on all the core elements of Akri. And yeah, I think the split proposal, the split configuration proposal is pretty much good. It may need some refresh or something to be sure that everything is okay with it, but this one can, as soon as we have the full refactor in, I think we can go with the split config pretty easily, because, well, the whole purpose of the refactor is to ensure that everything is well insulated, that we don't have things that are interdependent that shouldn't be, functionally speaking. So the splitting the configuration should get easy once we have the refactor.
And I think it'll be nice to find a point at which we can do things in parallel a little easier. So I think once the controller's done, we should be able to pull out the discovery handlers. I think we could do it already, but I think it's just a little easier to wait until the refactor is complete.
I think we can just wait for the agent refactor to be complete,
Okay.
because the controller have really nothing to do with the discovery handlers, while the agents still have a bit. So
That's fair. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, then let's try and parallelize that and do those in tandem.
even though I think that if I kind of think that we are going to need some kind of more stable crate for the discovery handler utils. before we can split them out, because otherwise it's I guess it's going to be messy when we want to have kind of reproducible builds or anything for the discovery handlers.
Yeah, as in refactor that, and maybe rename the crate and push it to crates.io and create like kind of a more of a paradigm around what it looks like to create a discovery handler, and all that centers around that one crate.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And this one can easily be done in parallel to the rest, I guess.
Yeah, I could take a look at that while you look at the controller. Yeah.
We could
Is
try
there
to also improve the test coverage, especially for the end-to-end testing. But I think that's something that's going to be more of a long run because, well, it's never been a focus we had on getting good test coverage.
Yeah, do you feel like the discovery handlers is where it's particularly lacking?
Well, while refactoring the agent, I also felt like there are some parts where it's only partially tested, or that there were a lot of corner cases that were not tested. So I'm not sure we have a real good test coverage overall.
Yeah, our percentage definitely could be a lot higher there too, even on number sense. What I was gonna say. It might come back. Oh, is there any chance that we'd want to consider this is just adding more work? So maybe we table it for 1.1, but this would be a breaking change, so maybe not. That we want to consider changing our discovery handler interface too. Like if we're gonna kind of redo it all, part of that being that we have this streamed connection with our discovery handlers, and maybe we should have like a strictly pull or strictly push, but the
Yeah,
problem,
I also think we should have a change in that discovery handler interface, but I'm not sure of what would be the best way to change it. So maybe we can just have it later on. Like from my point of view, like getting Akri to 1.0 is mainly for our users, and we can do this later on, like in a 1.1 or 1.2 or whatever, and just we made uh, the discovery handler protocol to be version exactly to be able to handle multiple version if we need to.
yeah, and that provides flexibility too, because people might be in a fairly connected environment and like the stream connection because they really do want the reactivity of immediately the device is gone. I want to know. But then other people might be in a more disconnected environment and not want to have to constantly maintain that connection, don't mind more latency with regards to offline devices.
And we also should uh, maybe try to reconsider the information that are transmitted by the discovery handler, like uh, maybe like they have the some like uh, the shared attribute. Maybe this one could be per device, or I think there are things that can be different that would make the development of discovery handler a bit more straightforward. So, and even on the agent side, like for example, if we take the shared flag, currently it's a bit well, not the easiest way to handle it to have it on the connection of the discovery handler, because then it means that you have to carry it everywhere to be able to use it. And so, or maybe it doesn't even deserve to exist, I don't know, because overall we don't have any major difference in how we consider a shared device between against a non-shared device, except for the how we compute the ID. But I believe this ID would be better in full control by the discovery handler. So I think there can be a lot of discussion around improving the discovery handler interface, but I really think that this should be later on and not for 1.0, because that would be too much, I believe. And that for 1.0 we should focus on getting the user API to be a stable one.
All right, anything else on this topic? Okay, then we can move on to this usage survey that we put out. Ethan, do you want to talk about it? Kind of like maybe the structure of the survey, and then if we got any results.
Yeah. I have created a short survey, which just includes some basic questions about the Akri. I think the most important information I want to get from the users would be what type of device they are discovering with Akri, and if there are any specific feature or device support they want to ask for. I put there is a sample post that I put in the note. I guess my ask to everyone would be, if you are aware of any forum or discussion space that can share this information with, please feel free to help me do that, or you can just let me know where can I post this message, and I can do that. And I think I plan to keep this survey alive for 1 month or maybe two, depends on the response. And when I get a summary, I'll share with the group about the result. But so far, we got zero response. So definitely hope there will be some more people response to that data.
Yeah, I think so far, where are the places that we've posted the survey, Ethan? We put it on our like Twitter and Slack, and then also on like the Microsoft Tech Community blog forum thing. Was there anywhere else?
Yeah, there's one more. It's the eco ecosystem discussion board for the Kubernetes forum. Yeah, so that's all.
Yeah, so if there's other forums that you guys might know of, let us know and we can, also post it there. Okay, are there any other agenda items that we want to cover today? Not. Should we do issue triage? I don't think we've done that in some time. Um, would anyone like to take issue triage today?
I would like to bring up one issue, but I'm not sure how we generally do this.
Is it an issue that's been posted on GitHub?
Yes, it's a issue on the Akri GitHub about the LoRaWAN support. So do I just paste the link in the note or?
Nice. You're talking about this one, right?
Yes. Okay. So I think the the previous decision or a comment on this one would be before we decide how we want to support the LoRaWAN, we need some PM investigation on how open is this protocol are uh, and the licensing rules of this project. So I did look into this project and read some relative documentation. I think they are being pretty open for anyone to use that. They are, besides a device certificate program they run, like anyone can leverage the protocol they build to create libraries or create products with this LoRaWAN protocol. So I don't think there will be any licensing issue if we want to support that and let our user use it. But I think one more thing, when I look into the LoRaWAN technology a little bit, I feel it's not like a traditional leaf device because it does have a complete end-to-end design, including how the device are supposed to be discovered or provisioned. So I feel it's not going to be, I mean, it's kind of be probably going to be a little bit different for Acri to find a right spot for us to plug in or how we integrate with this technology. So I'm just wondering, have any developers on our side look into that, or maybe that's something we need to spend more time for investigation later.
I think for in general for discovery handlers, and I know someone put on Slack like, hey, where are the new discovery handlers? I feel like we have really deprioritized discovery handlers in favor of it being extensible and letting contributors contribute them. So just adding that in the sense of, I think it would be good as we lead this conversation in the issue to maybe indicate that, because people could also think that our work in the issue could be that we're taking it on so they don't need to. But on Lower One itself, I have not spent time looking at specific devices, but I can say like if there's a user ask for it, then it probably is reasonable. It might be a little weird though. Like MQTT, we've had a little back and forth on how it's a little strange in the way you do discovery, because there you like have to basically post and listen to a broker instead of the actual device itself. So it's a bit strange, but it still fits with Akri because people want it to. And so I don't know lower one, but even if it's a bit strange, it might still fit if there's a user request.
Yeah, so I agree. I think we should just leave it open, see if anyone else from the community can contribute this.
Maybe we should create some kind of specific level for like kind of new discovery handler requests or something, and say that we will not, we will probably not do this by ourselves, but we are open to contribution on this.
We could put the help wanted flag there and then literally right now post in the Akri channel saying, anyone want to take this on?
Okay.
But I think this pattern is good, like even of you vetting it and seeing fit for the project and providing context, looking at like legal um, and certifications and understanding if it fits within the CNCF criteria are all good things for us to do, even when we're vetting something. Like those are all necessary vettings if we wanted to fall under Project Akri's GitHub organization. So that's really helpful to have.
Got it. Thanks.
All right. Um, define and use Akri specific secret types. So seems like it's a feature request. Maybe it might be a question for Johnson when he's back, since he did a lot of the secret work. Do any of the other developers have any thoughts on this? Or should we table it?
This could be something nice. I didn't know there was way to define extra secrets types. But yeah, that could be something we would like to do. But this is something we probably should be careful with, because we don't want to be creating tons of types. Like, we don't want one type for every discovery handler, or multiple types even. So that's something that could be interesting, but we should be really careful with this. So I believe this probably will need a proposal if we want to use that. But
I'm not sure we don't already support that either.
well, we do, but here I think the idea is to kind of promote the use of secrets that are not opaque, and define the types we need, so that the way we use the secrets for only for PCUA broker, discovery handlers, is compatible with non-opaque type, I believe.
So this is an ask to basically, as a project, decide what the types that we recommend are and document that. It's not actually a feature request. It's a request for input almost.
And maybe define some types, like if we need custom types, like for, say, here the example is on with credentials, is that if they have some specific type that doesn't fit any of the existing types of secrets, then to kind of define our own. Apparently that's a thing that has some kind of that we can validate that it's in the right format before. So I believe that's more something for the admission waybook, kind of a feature for the admission waybook to validate the secrets that are taken as input, if they have the right type, let's say.
Yeah, I'd be hesitant to define what a secret looks like for devices, though. It's just, it can vary even with OnVIF itself. Like you can use your password, which I don't think many people use, or you can do certs. And with OPCUA, I think it's an even bigger um, beast. So it gets back to the like, how do we generalize IoT, which is like Akri's big conundrum. But I think we at least need to respond to this because it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, maybe we can ask for Jensen to look at it, because he seemed to have way more knowledge about the inner working of the secrets handling there. And maybe we could be changing the documentation to say, if you are using passwords, use the I don't know if there's a login password type of secrets embedded in Kubernetes, but use that kind of secret. If you're using TLS secrets, then use the built-in TLS type rather than opaque. Maybe that's just some kind of documentation, or maybe some changes in the discovery handlers to use the types that already exist in Kubernetes, rather than using the generic opaque one, if there's one that fits. Because overall it's a use case specific thing. Like, as you said, we cannot say every OnVIF secret will be this way. But on the other hand, if we only support login password in the discovery handler, then, well, it makes sense to say you should use a login password secret.
Yeah. And I wonder if this gets back to, maybe this will make more sense when we have our discovery and our use configuration split out. But it also means that when you define a discovery handler, you also need to define secret types that it supports. So I think we should bundle that together as a concept of like, oh, if you have your developing a discovery handler hat on, you also need to define what secrets it can consume.
Yeah, or maybe not go that far, but just say that uh, if we add type of secrets, then ensure we validate them in the admission webhook, even though we may not be able to validate that we give like a well-formed secret to a discovery handler. So we may not validate, we are not going to validate that if you are creating a non-VIF configuration, you're giving a non-VIF secret, but we may validate that if you give a non-VIF secret, that it has the right scheme.
Mm-hmm. Maybe structure instead of schema. You didn't. This is a good summary, though.
Yeah.
Um, also, just can we just give a thanks to SF Tim at the beginning? Be like, this is a great request. Thank you.
Yes. I'm going to assign Johnson. Seems like an automated Rust.
I don't even know where we are using
I
this
just took
library.
a look. It's from SERDI YAML.
Okay, so
I think
we
we
may
just need to
just
buff
need
our
to,
dependencies.
probably just need to update strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, if we bump Saturday to latest, and that shouldn't be too hard, honestly. Saturday YAML. If anyone wants a quick little thrill. I can add a comment here.
This is, I think, something Johnson posted a while back.
Yeah, sure. That would be a nice feature, I believe. It's probably just, I don't know if it's more than just some Helm magic to do there, or if there's something to change in how the uh, webbook is actually working. But I think it's just some
Yeah.
Helm things to change.
I agree. I think I think it would just be hum. Yeah.
But I still believe we should add this as an additional way rather than uh, the only way. Because the autogen self-sign cert is kind of useful when you want to quickly deploy. Maybe this could replace the second one if we want to, but I don't know if, well, if it's not uh, difficult to maintain this possibility, this additional possibility, then maybe we can just add a third way to manage this webbook cert.
Yeah. I think that's what Johnson's suggesting here is like adding an extra way.
Okay. We can leave this here for now unless someone wants to take it and see if anyone else might want to take this on. All right, so I think that's all of it. Oh, Ethan, did we end up closing on this one, or are we waiting for some of the PRs to?
Which one?
The adopters file.
Okay. Yeah, I already have a PR, and hopefully someone can help with reviewing it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess any of the code owners can quickly take a look. We can close on that issue. All right. Anything else before we end the meeting?
Do you mind revealing the files? I just want to see. I'm like hanging on my seat. Like, okay, who are our adopters? Okay. I just wanted to see if we had any. Okay.
We should add like Microsoft and SUSE.
But are those adopters or are those providers?
Oh. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know if we have any adopters right.
Can you be both?
Yeah, I believe that the fact that we are basically proposing Akri as part of a solution makes us adopters in a way.
Yeah, that was something I want to ask because I thought like both Microsoft and SUSE leverage this leverage Akri for our solution.
One, yeah, sorry, never mind. Yeah, I think it'd be helpful to have some people on.
Yeah, why don't we add Microsoft and Susan here? See if anyone else adds, but all right. Any last things? All right, cool. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.